Hey oddballs, it's Amy and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be super chill because I'm in the mood to chill, and we're just gonna sit down and talk about my big summer plans. I've definitely alluded to these plans in a bunch of different videos over the last few months because these plans have been pretty much 6 months in the making, and now everything is pretty much finalized, pretty much good to go. All my flights are booked, my hotels are sorted for the most part, and now I just have to sit back and wait for it to be time to go. So in this video I'm just going to be sharing which places I'm planning on visiting, some of the things that we have lined up to do while we're visiting those places, and some tips and tricks for you if you are planning a similar big summer trip for yourself. I think all told I'm going to be traveling for about 5.5, maybe 6 weeks, from like when I leave Kuwait to when I get back to the UK. This is going to be the longest I've ever lived out of a backpack, so that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge for me. I know a lot of people when they go traveling, they A, go traveling for a lot longer, and B, some people like to just like make up their route as they go along. They just like turn up in Thailand and they're like, hey, maybe I'll stay for 3 days, maybe I'll stay for 3 months, and then who knows where I'll go next. And while the thought of that really appeals to me because, I don't know, I think I'm quite a free spirit, we've actually gone and done the complete opposite and planned and booked all our flights and hotels in advance. I think if you're traveling for a shorter period of time like we are, then you need to have a plan to make sure that you fit everything in. And also, the closer you get to the date of your flight, the more expensive it becomes. And we are traveling on a budget, okay? We have to take our pennies into consideration. On the theme of trying to travel in the most budget-friendly way possible, we booked all our flights through Skyscanner. If you've never used Skyscanner before, it's a really excellent tool for people who are traveling or even just going on a holiday if you need to book flights. So it'll compare hundreds of different airlines, and then you can choose the flight that's like the best for you. If it's gonna be like the cheapest flight or maybe the shortest flight, because those two things are very rarely the same. I use Skyscanner anytime I fly anywhere, and it's always worked out well for me. And then for booking our accommodation, we used booking.com all the way through. In fact, everywhere we've gone this year, we've used booking.com to book our hotels because there's free cancellation on most of the rooms and you don't have to pay anything up front in most circumstances. And I actually have a code that you can use to get 10% off when you use booking.com, so I'll pop that in the description box down below and you can save even more money. Nice. Okay, so that was kind of like the logistics of how we went about booking this trip, and now let me tell you where we are going. So our first stop is Thailand, and we're flying into Bangkok, and we are going to spend 4 days in Bangkok, and then from Bangkok we're going to Chiang Mai, and we're going to spend 7 days there. I know that 7 days seems like a long time in Chiang Mai considering we are only doing 6 weeks or less in total, but the reason for that is Chiang Mai is supposed to be really nice, really pretty, just a lovely place. And we've booked 2 days to spend in the Elephant Nature Park. This is insanely exciting for me because the Elephant Nature Park is top of my bucket list. I'm not gonna let this video become a rant on animal tourism, but there are a lot of super sketchy and just horrendous places in Thailand where elephants are like massively abused. The Elephant Nature Park is an actual sanctuary for elephants. They are taken care of, they're given, you know, as close to a wildlife as they can be given, considering most of them were taken out of animal tourism or like logging camps. So it's good, it's a charity, it's a good place, and I am pumped to go. So yeah, we're gonna be in Chiang Mai for 7 days, and then we are flying down to Phuket for 5 days. After that, we are heading to Malaysia, where we are spending 3 days in Kuala Lumpur, and then we are going down to Singapore, and we're going to spend 3 days there as well. Singapore kind of worries me the most because it's definitely the most expensive place we're visiting. So if any of you have any tips on how to do Singapore on a budget, help a girl out, because it looks crazy expensive compared to everywhere else. And like I said, we're on a budget. So 3 days in Singapore, and then we are heading to Bali. Hey! And in Bali, we're gonna do 4 days in Ubud. I don't know how to say this. We're spending 4 days there anyway, it looks nice. And then originally we were gonna spend 3 days in Kuta, but we talked to a friend of ours who's been to Bali a couple of times, and she was like, do not go there, it's not nice. And she recommended somewhere that we could go instead, which actually reminds me that we need to cancel our hotel in Kuta and book the new one. Can't remember the name of the place she told us to go to. It was like a little island, and it looked really nice. We looked at her pictures, it looked amazing. We looked at her pictures of Kuta and we were like, don't want to go there, it looks pretty dirty. So we're gonna make that amendment. And then from there, we are flying to Vietnam, where we are gonna spend 4 days in Hanoi, and then back to the UK. It's a pretty intense itinerary because we're spending like 3 or 4 days in each place. So it's gonna be like, go, 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 see all the sights, do all the things that you have to do, then get on a plane, go to the next place. If I had the choice, yeah, I would go backpacking for an entire year and leisurely make my way through each country, spending, you know, a couple of weeks here, a couple of weeks there. But practically, it's just not gonna happen that way. I've looked up a couple of things that we can do in these places. I know that I wanna like buy my weight in boho clothes when I get to Bangkok, because the clothing there is amazing. I know that I want to visit a bunch of temples and things like cultural things, because that's my jam. But if you guys have any recommendations, if you've ever been to any of these places and you're like, this is where you should go, this is somewhere you should avoid, like this is a great place to eat, like anything that could help us out, that would be great, because we've never been to any of these places, so we're gonna be clueless. So yeah, I would really appreciate if you guys could do that. And I would also really appreciate if you could give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already to become a member of our oddball family. For those of you who have already subscribed, thank you guys so much. You are my oddballs and I love you. Don't forget to let me know your tips down below. Let me know what your summer plans are so I can get like holiday envy. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I will see you all soon. Bye.